Remember, all these updates included in ES6 can be placed in one of two buckets. Those that introduce some amount of syntactic sugar and some that introduce a new construct altogether in JavaScript. So the next topic we're going to talk about is definitely going to fit into the bucket of syntactic sugar, or something to make writing our code just a little bit more clear. So let's get to it. Our next topic is going to be template strings, which is also known as template literals. You'll see them kind of referred to it either way, either template strings or template literals. We'll start by looking at an example of some ES5 code and then refactor it into the equivalent ES6 using template strings. So in our ES5 mode, I'm going to write out a getMessage function. And inside of here, I'll say const year. There's a new date object, get full year. And then I will return the year is plus year. Then we can call a getMessage. And we get, yep, year is 2016, just what I expected. Because it's 2016. I don't know what else I would expect. Anyways, so the code that we're looking at here is definitely ES5. I want you to take note of the string that's being generated inside of getMessage. We're joining together a string with the current year, right here, to form a longer string. You know, this output that we're seeing over here. A template string, which we're going to refactor this to, is just a nicer way of joining together JavaScript variables with a string. So right here, we're doing string concatenation. We're joining a string with a number. All we're doing is refactoring it to use template strings. It's going to be 100% identically the same, just the syntax is going to look a little bit different. So here's how we do it. Whenever we use a template string, we do not use quotes, either double quotes or single quotes. Instead, we use backticks. So backticks are the character that's to the left of the 1 on your keyboard. And so it looks a little bit like, you know, that symbol right there. And so I'm going to replace both of my quotes with backticks. And now I'm back to where I started. So I still got the string on the, I got the full sentence on the screen right here. Now, wherever inside of this string that I want to place a JavaScript variable, I will write a $sign and then an opening and closing curly brace. Then inside of there, I'll write my JavaScript variable, which in this case is year. So this is where the term kind of like string interpolation or template strings, or however you want to refer to it, comes from. We write out a normal string using backticks. And then wherever we want to kind of inject a JavaScript expression, we put a $sign, a curly brace, and our JavaScript variable, which in this case is year. We don't only have to refer to JavaScript variables inside of here. We can put in any valid JavaScript expression. So we could have just as easily said year -1 and gotten the year as 2015, or +2, or sometime in the very future, the year is 4032. Or we could have put the entire expression to get the date inside of there as well. And then we wouldn't need that additional declaration up there either. So any valid JavaScript expression we can put inside of these curly braces right here. That's about it for template strings, believe it or not. Not a lot, not a lot going on there. Basically, whenever you're writing a string and you want to put a variable in, put in your backticks, a $sign, a curly brace, and you're good to go. Notice that as soon as I leave off the curly brace, the assumption is, okay, they're now making a string here. If I leave off a closing brace, however, I'm going to get unterminated template, like you see down here. So kind of hard to go wrong with them. If you get an incorrect result, usually it's because you either forgot the $sign or the curly brace over here. So if you were to tell me, gee, Steven, this kind of seems like a tiny little change, yeah, I would certainly agree with you. So this is an area of ES6 where we have just a tiny syntax change, but it does produce, in general, a more legible string than what we had before. Or at least it did when we had, year we're passing in. So this is a little bit more legible right here than using the plus something, something, something. So the benefit of template strings is evident when we start creating more complicated strings. So let's talk about an example of that in the next section.